MrBeast might just have made his greatest ever video. His 100 million subscriber special is closing in on...
It took me over a year to get my first 1,000 subscribers. Like a year and a half. Took like almost a year to get the second 1,000. And the fact that I just gained 1,000 subscribers in like the last 11 days. And from 4K to 5K only took 12 days. And 3K to 4K only took 19 days. I put so much time into this channel. I never thought people would actually end up watching it. Or at least this many people. And the numbers are just going up. It's crazy.
I believe this guy right here, MrBeast, is going to surpass PewDiePie in YouTube subscribers. And in this video I'm going to show you why. Since the start of YouTube, it has been a bit of a Game of Thrones for the most subscribed channel. The early days saw a lot of changing of the #1 spot. Then along came PewDiePie in 2013 and no other YouTuber has come close since. Yes, T-Series may have passed him out, but in terms of individual creators, he's still the top dog. However, I've been studying Jimmy Donaldson, aka MrBeast, very closely for the last few months, and I've been blown away by what I've discovered. We've already covered his early beginnings on YouTube and how he's grown so far, but today we're going to look to the future of his channel and I'll show you why MrBeast will become the new most subscribed creator on YouTube. You might not believe me now, but stick around and let me see if I can change your mind by the end of this video. I know PewDiePie was a big inspiration for MrBeast. I mean, he went to pretty incredible lengths to keep him ahead of T-Series in 2018. But you know what they say, your idols become your rivals. Felix has been an amazing creator to have at the top of YouTube, but is MrBeast the man to take over and try to catch T-Series? Right now, MrBeast is currently growing twice as quick as PewDiePie, with 2.4 million subscribers in the last 30 days. The interesting thing is that they're both getting very similar total views per month. So why is MrBeast growing faster with the same amount of views? How is he hitting new audiences with every single video? There are certain things that Jimmy is doing that no other creator is, not even PewDiePie. And these factors are what will set him apart over the next 5 years of YouTube. Let's find out what they are. So the first moment it dawned on me that MrBeast would become the new king of YouTube was when this tweet popped up on my newsfeed. Now after reading that you might be a little confused. So MrBeast is going to pass PewDiePie by scrapping videos and wasting money? Well, this brings us on to factor number 1, which is based on this last sentence. If it isn't perfect, he doesn't upload it. A lot of big creators see YouTube as a game of numbers. If you upload more videos, you get more views, right? MrBeast looks at things differently. He uploads once or twice a week, sometimes even less, yet he is still growing faster than pretty much anyone else. MrBeast is a perfectionist. Every video he uploads has to meet a certain standard, and he's constantly trying to outdo his older videos, providing more entertainment value with even crazier ideas. He's even said he's willing to spend 10 hours just to get 15 seconds of footage if it improves the overall video.
I feel like a lot of creators have a mindset of like, how can I get the most views with the least amount of time? And I'm not saying that's wrong, because obviously I have that mindset sometimes too, but I try to, when filming, put in as much work, even if it's like a 15-second part of a video, even if that one little part will take like 10 hours,
Wow. But why does this work? Does this not just make MrBeast very inefficient? No, because of a little word called scarcity. Because MrBeast uploads less frequently, his viewers know they're getting something special each time he does. They're getting a video that is planned out to perfection with no dull moments, and it's therefore a great trade of their 15 minutes. At the end of the day, all YouTubers are doing is competing for your time. We click when we know a video is going to deliver. MrBeast has built up a reputation for himself. Someone once commented under one of my videos that MrBeast is growing because he clickbaits but then actually does it, and I couldn't put it better myself. This investment of time and money gives the end product of some of the craziest videos YouTube has ever seen. And the fact that there's only 4 or 5 a month means the novelty never wears off. This is why he is different. What other YouTuber will go to the effort of filming 3 big videos with their entire team, probably spending tens of thousands of dollars and hours of time, only to just say, no, I'm not feeling this one. Anyone else would just upload them anyway. PewDiePie makes incredible videos, but his upload schedule is much more frequent, and he just can't go to the same lengths as MrBeast. As a result, his content is mainly made for his own audience. This explains why MrBeast is growing faster than him with the same amount of views. MrBeast is hitting new audiences every time he uploads, while PewDiePie is making content to appeal to his existing subscriber base. I'm not saying PewDiePie should start doing what MrBeast is doing, it's just a different approach, and it's definitely paying off for Jimmy. This brings us on to factor number 2. he's not doing this alone. Not only does MrBeast upload less than a lot of other big YouTubers, he's also built himself an empire behind the scenes. If you want to compete with him, you're up against a team of over 30 people. Behind the camera, MrBeast has a crew including editors, scriptwriters, thumbnail artists, and even people who are responsible for analysing data and current trends, making sure MrBeast is making videos that will always beat the YouTube algorithm. Everyone contributes with their own ideas and work together to produce the best work they can. Even with the tiny details, this can make all the difference. For example, MrBeast revealed that he was originally going to title this video, Spending 24 Hours in a Rainforest. However, after running it by his team, the title was changed to Surviving 24 Hours Straight instead, which is a much more impactful and engaging title. This might not seem like a big deal, but having people around you to make sure even the tiniest of details is on point all adds up. His thumbnail artist Chucky follows me on Instagram, and his entire job is about looking at YouTube analytics and making the most clickable thumbnails possible. If you've got super talented people working in every sector to make just one video a week, it's a recipe for success. MrBeast is effectively the director of a team of viral video makers. He still calls the shots, but he's got all the right people around him to turn his ideas into reality. In front of the camera, MrBeast of course gives a lot of the spotlight to his squad, with the likes of Chandler and Chris taking part in most of his crazy stunts. I mentioned this in my David Dobrik video, but having multiple characters gives a YouTube video much more depth. Viewers aren't just tuning in for Jimmy, which takes a lot of the pressure off of him.
Starting off with 2 PlayStations?
Yep.
What else do you want?
This is a good item right here. It's definitely not for me.
Yeah, this T-Rex?
Yeah, it's not for me.
Okay. You want a Switch?
Yeah.
How about 2?
Yeah.
You want another Switch?
Yeah. We should switch it up and get a Switch. Good joke. Good joke.
I think having this team behind him really encapsulates why MrBeast will rise to the #1 spot. He's willing to push things further forward than anyone else on YouTube. The final factor is going to be perhaps the most important of them all. MrBeast has universal appeal. The first big YouTubers were really watched by everyone. I grew up when the likes of Smosh and Ray William Johnson were at the top, and trust me, pretty much anyone who had a YouTube account back then was watching their videos. As more creators came to the platform, we started getting niches. We had makeup artists, daily vloggers, tech reviewers and gaming channels. Niche channels really have dominated the platform for the last 10 years, and I think PewDiePie is a pretty good example of that. Yes, he varies his content a lot, doing commentary videos, meme reviews and vlogs, but the core of his channel will always be gaming. MrBeast is one of the few big YouTubers that can't be put in a box. He appeals to people from a wide variety of backgrounds, which give him a much higher ceiling for his potential audience. If you look at this video for example, it's simple but very intriguing. You want to find out what happens and how the other people involved in the challenge react to the situation. This video isn't limited to just his own subscribers. You could show this to pretty much anyone and they'd be curious to find out what happens. Whereas if you look at PewDiePie's videos, if you're not a gamer you probably aren't going to be as interested. MrBeast's videos have universal appeal because they are based on ideas that trigger human curiosity. Something else really interesting is the fact that he gains views from people that I describe as YouTube casuals. You know those friends you have that don't really spend much time on YouTube, they don't subscribe to creators or engage in the community, but every now and then they'll dip in to watch a few videos? MrBeast's videos are still enjoyable for people like those. Even if you look at the way MrBeast and PewDiePie are viewed in the mainstream media, you see positivity for Jimmy but negativity for Felix. I think both these guys are really good people, but this just shows how MrBeast crosses into a mainstream audience much more effectively. PewDiePie will always have a really solid dedicated fan base, but I think MrBeast's content can go further and appeal to more. Every time I watch him,
At the time I'm recording this video, I have 8,000 subscribers and 1.8 million views. So whenever you see this, compare these numbers to whatever I have when you watch this. So you might be wondering, what the heck is this? And honestly, I'll probably forget about this by the... Oh, I'm shaking a lot. Sorry, my hands shake. Alright, let's set this down. Did that fix it? Yeah.
if I told you 3 years ago that this guy right here was a YouTube genius, you'd probably laugh in my face. Back then, MrBeast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, was filming videos of himself on his iPhone 5 in his bedroom. Today, the 21-year-old from North Carolina runs one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in history. In fact, every single video MrBeast has uploaded in 2019 has over 10 million views, something no other creator has done before him, not even PewDiePie.
I don't understand. I just don't understand.
So how did he do it? In this video I'm going to show you why MrBeast is the smartest YouTuber on the platform, So if you want to grow a channel in 2020, get out your notebook and get ready, because this is going to be a YouTube masterclass. If you're new to this channel, I like to analyze big YouTubers and pinpoint the factors behind their success and growth. So why did I pick MrBeast? Well, I think the numbers really speak for themselves. MrBeast currently sits at 27 million subscribers, but he is growing at a rate of 1 million subscribers every month. He's bringing in 300 million views a month, which, if you want to break it down into money terms, is probably around $600,000 every single month just from ads. Not bad for a college dropout. But the big question is, how is this all possible? What does MrBeast know that we don't? Well, the good news is that I've spent the last week researching the hell out of his channel for all you guys, and I've broken it down into 4 factors that I think have set him apart. So without further ado, let's get straight into factor number 1. So the first factor I want to highlight is how MrBeast has turned himself into a viral video making machine. For most YouTubers, viral videos are like gold dust. For many YouTubers, they get one viral hit and then spend weeks or months desperately trying to replicate it with little success. Trust me, I've been there before, and it's very hard to keep up the momentum. However, in MrBeast's case, he has truly cracked the viral formula, which allows him to make video after video that get onto the trending page and get big views. So what is his secret? In general, viral videos are based around a few central themes. Most viral videos can be placed into at least one of these categories. They are money related in some form, reaction based, pranks, challenges, drama related, or they feature other popular YouTubers, whether that be in their title or an actual collaboration. The really clever thing MrBeast does though is the fact that he blends multiple different viral themes into one video. Take for example this video here. Last YouTuber to leave wins $100,000. This was a collaboration video with various popular YouTubers. It's money based, but it was also a challenge. It also captured everyone's reaction to the situation, so it should be considered a reaction video too. MrBeast is a master at combining all the different ingredients needed to go viral and putting them into one video. The result in this case, 37 million views. Now you may be sitting there saying, where am I going to get access to 20 high profile YouTubers and 100 grand in cash from?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But the truth is, MrBeast figured this out very early on. Look through some of the videos he made a few years back when he was small, and you'll see he still used the same method of blending popular formats into one video. See where you can apply this to your own videos to appeal to larger audiences. Now of course, it's not just as easy as that. Making videos that have the potential to go viral and actually going viral are two very different things. How is anyone going to know your video is a viral hit in the making if no one sees it? And that brings us on to factor number 2. MrBeast is beating the YouTube algorithm. YouTube cares about 2 things now more than anything else. Click-through rate, which is the amount of people clicking on your video, and watch time, which is the amount of time people spend watching your video after clicking. These are the 2 main metrics that YouTube uses when deciding whether or not to show your video to more people. You see, a lot of people like to overcomplicate things when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, but MrBeast keeps it simple and focuses on getting people to click and make them stay on his video. In terms of click-through rate, it's all about your title and your thumbnail. These are 2 things MrBeast is absolutely dominating at. His titles are short and snappy and always hold some sort of shock value. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen a MrBeast video and thought, surely not. Being able to spark someone's interest through a few words is a skill that is often overlooked. As for MrBeast's thumbnails, on the surface they may seem quite simplistic and at times even poorly made. This thumbnail right here looks like it was made in 5 minutes. I mean, he didn't even bother photoshopping the follower count icon properly, and yet this video still has more views than my entire channel. However, once again, Jimmy is much smarter than many give him credit for. These thumbnails perfectly suit the type of videos he makes. They are in your face, instantly recognizable, and amateur by design. Things that tend to go viral on the internet are things that look amateur, especially when it comes to pranks or challenges. People don't want to see some polished end product when it comes to a challenge. This simplistic look is definitely intentional. MrBeast wants to stay true to that traditional YouTuber style. If he came out with a flashy, polished thumbnail and fonts, it just wouldn't suit his brand. Most of his thumbnails showcase some form of reaction. This may seem simple, but it's very important to remember. Another interesting point to remember is that over 50% of all traffic on YouTube comes through phones. MrBeast knows that thumbnails need to grab attention and be readable on smaller screens. Most YouTubers create their thumbnails on their computers, so it's an area that's easy to forget about. So that's how MrBeast gets people to click, but how does he get them to stay? Here I've outlined 3 things Jimmy does that ensures he clocks up hour after hour of watch time. The first thing is he gets straight to the point of the video from the get-go. Usually in the first 10 or 20 seconds of his videos, he explains exactly what is going to happen. This is commonly called a hook, and it ensures viewers know what to expect from the start, so they are more likely to stick around. This quite literally hooks their attention. Here's an example from one of his own videos.
I wanted to open a free bank, so I did what any logical person does. I rented a real bank, grabbed a ton of money, hired all my friends as tellers, and then bought a billboard and paid Chandler to flip a sign. And here's what happened. I asked the bank for $1 billion and they said no.
What?
So I made a graph.
It says we made a graph.
Yeah. And regardless, we're opening a free bank to put them out of business.
Let's go.
Yeah. Go give away money. Yeah.
The second thing is very obvious. His videos are long. If you want to get more watch time, it makes sense to have longer videos. There's a sweet point though, which for MrBeast is usually between 10 and 20 minutes. And thirdly, MrBeast uses a lot of retention tactics to make sure viewers are brought on a journey through his videos and don't click off. Most of his videos are not resolved until the end, so you naturally want to stick around to see what happens. If you break it down, they are all a story with an intro, middle and end. He also uses a varied approach of editing, for example combining energetic humour with slower, more emotional moments. Some of this is just from being a good storyteller, but it all helps to make sure people stick around after clicking. Okay, so on to the final 2 points. These are going to be much less detailed but equally as important, so make sure you stick around. Factor number 3 is the fact that MrBeast understands the importance of the growth stage. The growth stage is a term used in business to describe the stage where a new company is growing rapidly fast to get more customers and develop a better product, without worrying too much about being in profit. MrBeast applies the same concept to his YouTube channel, which I find to be a fascinating model and a very clever move. Pretty much all the money MrBeast has made from his videos up until this point has been reinvested into making even better videos. You see, a lot of YouTubers grow like this. They get to a certain point and fail to innovate and fail to create better videos, and then they die off. However, the way MrBeast is constantly upping the stakes and improving his videos means his growth isn't slowing, as his videos get better and better each time. Listen to what the man himself had to say about it in his Casey Neistat interview.
My mindset, if you want to know how I always thought, I just always saw it as I just reinvest everything I make. Like literally up till a few months ago, every time I got a paycheck, that was just like the month's budget. So like I said, I saved up $1 a day to buy a microphone. When I made a few $1,000s, I just spent a few $1,000s. When I made $10,000, I just spent 10. So it's like, as I made more money, I was just like, all right, well now I want to spend it on videos somehow. That was just my mindset, if that's what you're asking.
I want to finish up with the final point. MrBeast has proven that positivity can win on YouTube. I think sometimes it's quite easy to view YouTube as a whole in a negative light. It can at times feel like a toxic environment that is built on bringing other people down to fight your way to the top. However, MrBeast is a perfect example that by being a genuine, positive and likeable person, you can still rise to the very top of this platform. Maybe this is the most important lesson of them all.
Wow, I don't even know what to say.
What you guys do is just a blessing, and I never thought in a million years that, I would get that opportunity, but I'm so grateful.
Aww.
We really are. Thank you.
You guys did a good job. Keep giving away my money. I'd rather not have money and see things like that. Me too. Back to your state.
And with that said, thank you all for watching this video. It's been a crazy 2 weeks since I uploaded my last video. Here's why MrBeast is a genius. The video has hit over 1.8 million views, my channel has grown by pretty much 30,000 subscribers, and I've just been casually chatting to MrBeast on Twitter, as you do. It was clear that you guys enjoyed this video, but I got a lot of comments asking me to cover MrBeast's early beginnings and how he first gained momentum. I suppose it's easy to look at the things he is doing now to grow his channel, but what about when he was just a kid in his bedroom with a small gaming channel? So today we're going to travel back in time before the money and crazy stunts to see how MrBeast really made his name. Stay tuned because this is going to be another YouTube masterclass from Jimmy Donaldson.
Just 10,000 subscribers. I mean, I think I have over 450 videos on this channel. I've put a lot of time into this channel, and I'm glad people are enjoying my content. I'm glad people are liking my videos.
I want to start out with a quick summary of MrBeast's YouTube journey. Then I'll break down 3 more lessons we can take on board as small creators to help us grow our own channels. Jimmy Donaldson started out his YouTube career by uploading gaming videos, mainly Minecraft and Call of Duty. Inspired by the likes of Ali and PewDiePie, he had high hopes of becoming a game and commentary channel. He uploaded hundreds of videos but had very limited growth. He then started to shift his focus and everything started to change. One of his first successful videos was a video talking about how much PewDiePie makes. This was followed on by many other YouTube related videos where Jimmy began commenting on the platform as a whole and other large creators. Then came the now deleted Worst Intros series where MrBeast reacted to cringy intros from other small YouTubers. Leave a comment below if you remember those. This momentum carried through into his first videos that really hit the big time. When MrBeast started getting behind the camera himself, showing his real personality, the viewers came in their millions. The biggest breakthrough during this period is the infamous counting to 100,000 video, which gained millions of views in a matter of days, propelling his name to the forefront of YouTube. Then came the money, which MrBeast used to make even more crazy videos, and the rest is history. At 28 million subscribers today, it's hard to believe MrBeast started out his channel by making videos like this.
Pretty cool, isn't it? This is the bluebird, just a baby one. Pecan. Flamingo I thought was pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
So what were the key things MrBeast did to blow up his channel when he had under 100,000 subscribers? What concepts are still relevant to small YouTubers today? The first thing MrBeast did that really sparked his growth on YouTube was he took the focus away from himself. Now this may seem counterintuitive, so let me explain. When Jimmy started on YouTube, he was just another upcoming gamer doing commentary videos. People don't care about the 1000th small YouTuber making Minecraft videos like everyone else. Think about it, if you see a Minecraft video in your feed from another YouTuber who you don't know yet, what is compelling you to click on it? It was when he first started making videos on trending topics and other large YouTubers that he really started to see his first traction. He realised that, to be quite honest, people didn't care about who he was back then. He had to talk about topics people did care about first. This is quite commonly called trend jacking within the YouTube community, where you make videos about a trending topic or something that is searched a lot, you piggyback on that subject and build an audience off the back of it. Now some people frown upon this and say you should only make content you want to make before anything else. And I think this should be always the end goal with YouTube. But in my opinion, it's kind of like saying a business should make products they want and not what the market wants. When starting on YouTube, it is so important to realise that people don't care about you when you're small. It's harsh but true. MrBeast, realising this very early on, helped his content reach new audiences, so when he did start making videos about himself and his personality, he had a viewer base already there. So I recommend seeing what's trending within your niche and seeing where you can add value and input. For example, if you're a small gaming YouTuber, uploading a video called "My New Record Kill in Fortnite" probably won't get much traction, considering hundreds of people will have made a video similar to this before and the focus on the video is on you as a gamer. But making a video called "How to Get High Kill Games in Fortnite Using the Lightsaber" would have a much better chance of being discovered, as you are bringing value and appealing to new audiences while also addressing a trending topic, the newly added lightsabers in Fortnite. This is just an example, but this shift in focus is so important to keep in mind. Okay, now on to lesson 2 from MrBeast's early beginnings on YouTube, and that is to experiment and innovate with your content. When people hear the word innovate, they usually think of Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, not some kid from North Carolina who taped himself together with toilet paper. But hear me out. When you consider how much content is being posted on YouTube every single day, it's hard for upcoming YouTubers to create something new. In fact, let's be honest, half of YouTube these days is just rinsing and repeating what already works, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you can innovate and bring something out that's completely fresh and exciting to viewers, it's a recipe for success. After building a base of an audience for himself, MrBeast began experimenting with his content, and eventually he struck gold. His crazy challenges were something no one on the platform had seen before. Whether it be counting to 100,000, watching Everyday Bro for 10 hours straight, or saying PewDiePie's name 100,000 times, these videos were crazy, and don't lie, when you saw them the first time you probably said, "Why would anyone watch that?" And then you proceeded to click right on it. I know I did. Not to mention, Jimmy timed these challenges pretty well, as it was during a period where YouTube had started promoting videos based on the amount of watch time they were getting. And what better way to get watch time up than to create a marathon stream? You see, a lot of small YouTubers look at what other big YouTubers are making in the space and just try to replicate it. However, experimenting with new ideas and innovating is exactly what you need to strike gold. It's on a much smaller scale than MrBeast, but when I made my first YouTuber analysis video in 2017, there was nobody really doing anything like it. In fact, I spent 20 hours making my Peter McKinnon video and then considered not posting it at all as I didn't think it would do well. It then went on to hit over 300,000 views in its first few months on YouTube, which I know is still nothing compared to MrBeast, but for a channel that only had a few thousand subscribers at the time, I was pretty happy with that. MrBeast has never been afraid to experiment with his content. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you only need to get it right once to have a viral video on your hands. To stand out on YouTube, you sometimes need to go against the grain. I suppose the key takeaway here is to never be afraid to experiment with your content. I just want to take a moment to talk about the music in the background of this video. A lot of creators make the mistake of using copyrighted songs in their videos. I've been hurt by this before when I used songs that I thought weren't copyrighted until this came up on my screen. I was using free songs from YouTube, but I found it very hard to find what I wanted and was never really sure if they were copyright free. Then I found Epidemic Sound a few months ago. Epidemic Sound is a huge library of 100% copyright free songs that I use for my voiceover videos. It's literally like Spotify for YouTubers. You can browse through different genres and moods to find the perfect music for your videos. It's usually $15 per month, but you can try it out for free for 1 month using my link below. If you don't like it, you can just cancel it. Either way, it would really help out the channel and help me keep making content like this for you guys. Thank you for listening to that plug, and now back to the video. The last lesson from Jimmy's start on YouTube is a simple one. He started with what he had. Simple as that. So many upcoming creators put off making content for a variety of different reasons, myself included. But one of the main things I hear is I don't have this camera, I don't have these skills, this editing software, and so on and so on. I've definitely been guilty of this myself in the past. However, MrBeast is living proof that good things don't come to those who wait on YouTube, they come to those who start and persist. If you look at the content MrBeast started with and compare it to where he's at now, it's literally a world apart, and judging by his latest tweet, it's only going to get even better. The point is, he would have never got to the point he is now if he had waited around until he got a new camera or a better microphone. If you want to start a YouTube channel in 2020, just put out content. Yes, it might not be to the level you want at the start, but waiting around for the perfect moment when you have X, Y, or Z doesn't work. Listen to the man himself talk about his attitude towards the subject with Casey Neistat.
And then I got an iPhone, which then, because I had a Windows phone, which only recorded like 480, I couldn't record with that. So once I got an iPhone, after years of like all this stuff, then I started recording myself and I moved a little bit away from gaming. And then I was able to buy a camera, but I got like 200,000 subscribers with like an iPhone 5, recording in 30 FPS, 720p.
You hear that?
And yeah, and that's why like I tell people all the time, start a channel, they're like, I can't afford it. And they have like literally like the new iPhone. And people used to always complain about the quality, and I was just like, okay, well, I can't do anything. I need my next paycheck to buy something.
So that wraps up part 2 of the MrBeast analysis on my channel. As a quick recap, these are the 3 things I feel we can learn from Jimmy to help grow our own channels. Number 1, if your current content isn't working, try change the focus of the video and experiment with trend jacking. Number 2, try bring something new to YouTube. It doesn't need to be as crazy as MrBeast's marathon streams, just make sure you're not rinsing and repeating what everyone else is doing. And number 3, start with what you have. If all you have is your mobile phone and an old laptop, start with that. There's no point waiting around when YouTube gets more competitive every year. I can't put into words how grateful I am for the support I got on the first MrBeast video. If I was to tell you that this guy right here was a genius entrepreneur, you'd probably call me crazy.
Chandler, hit it off the ceiling. The money is literally stuck in the ceiling.
However, as well as making his insanely entertaining videos, MrBeast is running the biggest YouTube business in history. With each video he uploads, he seems to offer bigger prizes with bigger budgets. Which leaves the question, how on earth can one 22-year-old YouTuber have this much money? I mean, views pay, but when you're giving away private islands and houses like it's nothing, there's something going on we need to investigate. What does Jimmy know about making money on YouTube that the rest of us don't? Well, in this video, we're going to explore the business empire behind MrBeast. If you are trying to monetize your own channel, this could be the most important video you watch this year. Now, I've broken down the business behind some other top YouTubers in the past, but MrBeast is perhaps the most interesting case study so far. Over the years, there's been a lot of rumours about where Jimmy's personal fortune has come from. I've seen people claim he's a trust fund baby, an early stage Bitcoin investor, and even some conspiracy theories that his videos are actually fake. While these explanations are clearly not true, when you crunch the numbers on MrBeast's channel, it does seem quite puzzling. He's revealed before that he spends $600k a month just on his employees and rent. And in June he tweeted that in the first 6 months of 2020 he had already spent $10 million on content. Add these together and MrBeast could be spending well over $2 million a month running his channel. Sure, he gets a lot of views, but even with a good CPM, pretty much no one else on YouTube could afford this level of spending. The truth is, Jimmy has turned his channels into money-making machines, and through my research I have broken down the 3 main steps he has taken. The best part is you don't need to have millions in the bank to learn from these lessons. Anyone can apply them to build a better business on YouTube. Let's get straight into things.
How much money did you catch?
$1,929.
And according to Google, that's when the Great Depression hit. Yeah!
Now here's the biggest secret. YouTubers make more money than people think. And what I said earlier isn't entirely true. There are other YouTubers that could afford to spend this much money on their videos, but 99% of people aren't willing to go all in like MrBeast. By viewing his business through the eyes of a YouTuber myself, it starts to make more sense. Across his channels he's averaging about 600 million views a month. If we gave him an average RPM of $2, he'd be bringing in an estimated $1.2 million a month through AdSense. It's not too much of a stretch to imagine that MrBeast could also be making a further 800k through his sponsorships and merchandise sales, which would just about cover the 2 million monthly spending we estimated. I'm still pretty sure he's going close to bankrupt every month, but the economics do make sense in theory. However, the real genius is in how he got to this stage in the first place, and that starts with step number 1, crowdfunding his ideas. Now the concept of crowdfunding is nothing new, but the way MrBeast is applying it to his videos is actually really smart. In business, a crowdfunding scenario is when an entrepreneur has an idea for a product, and lots of like-minded people come together to raise enough money for it to become a reality. Now, by no means am I saying MrBeast is not using his own money. His accountant is probably the most stressed out human being in the world. But he has translated this business concept over to his videos. He reinvests everything he makes from his audience back into his channel, which creates a feedback loop. He makes a video, it makes money and people buy his merch, then he makes an even better video using that money and the process is repeated. Just read this tweet about his exclusive merch launch in August. This is crowdfunding. His supporters bought tens of thousands of t-shirts to help make his 40 million video a reality. And if you go back, he's been running the same model the entire time. But why does this work for him? Why are people so willing to support him? The answer is MrBeast is purpose driven. He's got a mission and it's clear. He wants to take his videos to a level never seen before on YouTube and make the world a better place while doing so. This gives him incredibly strong audience buy-in, which is a term I use to describe how dedicated a subscriber base is to supporting the creator. With YouTubers, if you buy their merch and watch their mid-roll ads, you sometimes feel like you're just lining their pockets, which is perfectly fine. But with Jimmy, you feel like you're helping him change YouTube and make other people's lives better. Standing for something attracts other people to get behind you. It's like the superfan theory I talked about before. Sure, there are lots of people who just casually watch MrBeast's videos, but his clear mission and constant reinvestment means more and more people turn into superfans, who help fund his ideas and back him so strongly. Building this tribe of supporters who want to see him succeed means that when he does sell to his audience, he gets results like this.
See this giant cube of shirts here? I have to sign every single one of these shirts in this cube, and it could literally take me weeks. What the heck, guys? Do you hate me?
You don't have to have goals as crazy as MrBeast to apply this idea to your own channel. The key to selling is making people believe in you and what you are trying to achieve. Ask yourself, how much audience buy-in are you actually creating with your content? Sometimes to make more money on YouTube, you've got to think about more than just money, and MrBeast is living proof. Now, this is all heartwarming and positive, but let's be real. You don't get to this stage without having a really strong strategy to grow your business, which takes us on to step number 2. MrBeast is building a monopoly on YouTube. People don't really like to admit that YouTube is a competitive market, but the top creators are in direct competition with each other for their viewers' time and attention. To stand out, you need to offer something different and be ahead of the curve. We can call this a channel's unique selling point. What can they provide that others can't? Perhaps it's a new way of editing, superior thumbnail designs, or even being the first to jump on a new trend. The problem is, once other creators see that something works, they all rush to replicate it on their own channel, which in turn leads to saturation and less results for everyone. But if there's a way to make your USP very difficult to replicate, well then you have a YouTube monopoly, and this is what MrBeast has done. In traditional business, the idea of monopolies is a bit controversial, but for creators, it's more of a mindset thing than anything else. The easier to replicate your content is, the more competitors you will end up having. MrBeast is pretty much impossible to imitate. Every time he uploads, it's something that hasn't been done before and probably won't be done again. His format of high budget videos and projects means there is a clear barrier to entry. If you look at his last 3 uploads, you'd need to be a multi-millionaire with a team of 30 plus people to replicate these ideas. Whereas if you look at someone like KSI's last 3 uploads, hundreds if not thousands of other YouTubers could make these videos in a few hours. Now obviously KSI is doing just fine, but there's a reason why every video MrBeast uploads gets over 20 million views. Sure, others can try take inspiration, not pointing any fingers, but right now anyway, MrBeast owns his market. This is one of the reasons his channel has not plateaued and his business continues to grow. He has found a format of content where he has virtually no competition, and this should be the goal for every creator. Now the way you or me get there is going to be different to MrBeast, unless you're a secret billionaire, but I think it's really worth identifying the things about your content that others can't replicate and making them a part of your strategy. Not everyone can build a monopoly, but to stand out you need to think like this. Now, it would be wrong for me to make a video on MrBeast's business model and not mention how he has revolutionized the video sponsors. Brand deals used to have a pretty bad rep on YouTube. I would say they were just about accepted, but if creators did too many, it didn't take much to be labelled a sellout. They were considered that annoying part of the video you couldn't wait to skip. However, YouTubers such as MrBeast and David Dobrik have really flipped this on its head, using a new strategy for sponsors that we can all learn from. MrBeast makes brands part of the video and the overall story. This is a completely different way of viewing them. They are not dead space, they can actually be a fun and interesting segment that people won't just skip. Look how he integrates Apex Legends here in one of his recent videos.
Buying hundreds of gallons of chemicals was surprisingly expensive, which is why Apex Legends is the sponsor of this video. Battle Royale. All 3 of the boys are going to be playing a game of Apex Legends, and if they win, we're going to give Carl's mom $10,000. But if they lose, we're going to have to dump slime on all their heads. Start searching.
He turned what can often be a boring part of the video into a challenge you don't want to skip. Jimmy also makes it clear that the sponsors help make the videos better. The money he receives for them is added to the budget. With his brand deals,